Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And today, that was such a formal intro. Peter Likes Books. And today I am driving around and I am running errands. And by running errands, I mean that I am trying to find the Starbucks temperature changing cups. I have my Pride cup that I got for the month from Starbucks. I was very, very excited about this. And I'm drinking my coffee, and I just did a review video on my review channel, Peter Reviews Stuff. I just reviewed the new orange milkshake at Arby's. But I was going to do a sit-down video. I haven't filmed over here in a while, and I think if truth be told, I feel like I have to sit down in a chair and do very serious videos. Not serious videos, but I have to do like, you know, thought out videos and whatever. And when I first started my BookTube channel, I did so many, I hope the light when I turn this way is gonna be good, but I have a feeling you're gonna be in the dark, so I'm sorry if that's the case. But anyway, that's not too bad. When I started on BookTube, you know, I did a lot of book vlogs. I did a lot of videos where I just was driving around, or I was like in my office, or talking in the living room, or whatever. And it was just like there was a freedom to that, and I miss doing that. So I'm gonna be doing a lot more of that, getting back to doing, you know, some book vlogs and things like that, where I'm just like driving around talking about stuff. And if you watch my vlog every night, so if you don't know, I have a vlog channel called Peter Vlogs. I vlog on there from anywhere from like an hour to 2 hours. I did a 3-hour vlog not too long ago, and I just talk about all kinds of stuff. Well, a majority of what I talk about on my vlog channel is books, and I have had, a lot of people love that I talk about books over there, but then there's a lot of people that are like, Peter, I come over here to hear stories of your life and just what's been going on in your day. I'm not really coming over here to hear you talk about books, you know, ad nauseum. So I had said a couple months ago that I was going to start putting that over here and just doing book vlogs on a regular basis, just talking about stuff, but I haven't done that. So there are 2 videos I've been meaning to do. One is Bunny from Bunny Cakes and Tomes, who I love dearly, and I will, she's been a huge supporter of me through the years, and she and I play Words with Friends with each other, and I just adore her, and I will link her channel below. Go check her out, go subscribe to her. I think it's always fun to find new booktubers that you didn't know before. But she had tagged me in the Schitt's Creek book tag, and I've been meaning to do that. But honestly, I read through some of the questions and it's kind of hard. Like, I don't, like off the top of my head, I don't have those answers. And then I knew I was gonna make this video. I haven't been reviewing all of the books that I've been reading in 2020 like I did the past 2 years. Every book that I read, I would do a review because I thought for the author, it was nice if I did that. But I think I'm not somebody that loves to watch review videos. I think very few people do like to watch review videos. If you're somebody out there that likes to watch review videos, let me know and put in the comment section why you like to watch them and what you like about them, and maybe I'll start doing a few more of them. But I did want to do a review video about this book because I have been very blessed in 2020 to not be in a lot of reading slumps and to not read a lot of bad books. And I actually just finished my 41st book of the year. I cannot believe it. I have passed the amount of books that I have read in previous years, and I'm coming up on probably past, I know I'm gonna, this year, if I continue to read at the rate that I'm reading, I know I will read more books than I have read any other year, which is exciting to me because it exposes me to new worlds and all that kind of stuff and new characters. But I have been really blessed to read just fantastic books this year. I have just, every book that I've read has fallen almost all of them, I'd say 80%, has fallen somewhere between like a 4 and a 5. And then what happened was I read 2 books in a row that I just was not really thrown out by. I just didn't think they were the greatest books in the entire world. And I just was like, these are kind of boring. The first one was, the second one was called The In-Between. It wasn't bad. I liked it better at the end than I did at the beginning, but it took a long time to get into. And the first one was called, oh shoot, it's just Origins, and it's not the one by Dan Brown. I loved Origin by Dan Brown. It was another one, and I can't remember who's the author now, but it was like about this beast that they kept underground in this government bunker, and they called him Bubba because they thought he was the devil, like Beelzebub. And it was not great. It wasn't horrible, but it just was not great. And I think I realized how I get into a reading slump. Is that I get into a reading slump because maybe I'll make this video about something else. I was gonna make this video about the worst book that I've read in 2020, but maybe I'll read this about how I get into reading slumps, and then tomorrow I'll save the worst book that I've read in 2020. I figured out the way that I get into reading slumps is not because I can't find a good book to read. It's because I'll get myself into a book that is really not that great, and I'm just really not that inspired to be reading, and I'm like, you know, 100 pages in, or what, if I'm listening to an Audible, I'm like an hour or two in, and it just feels like it's dragging to me. Like, it is just the worst book I've ever read, right? And then I don't want to finish it. So, like, instead of just DNFing it, which means did not finish, instead of just saying, I'm not going to finish this book, and just putting it aside, which I should probably do, right? Instead, I just keep on going and going and going. And then what happens is, a book that I should be able to finish, because I have finished some very long books this year in a matter of 2 or 3 days. You know, some books that are 500, 600 pages that on Audible are 16 hours, 18 hours. I've finished them in literally a matter of 2 to 3 days, whereas other books that are 8 hours or 250 pages, 260 pages have taken me 2 weeks to finish or a week to finish, because in the past 2 weeks, even a month sometimes, because I'm just so not into what I'm reading. And there are only so many books out there that if I'm reading a book that I don't enjoy, I should just be done with it and put it to the side. Well, I got myself into reading this book. I'll just talk about it on this one too. We'll talk about everything. And the book is The Hunt for the Skinwalker. And I can't remember who it's by. I think his name was Kelleher or something. So it's about the Skinwalker Ranch, and it's a nonfiction book about this family. Their names are the Gormans, and they moved to this ranch in upstate northeastern Utah. And this ranch has been the place for tons and tons of paranormal activity, UFO sightings, spirit people or whatever, shadow walker, I don't even know, skinwalkers, other dimensions. I mean, everything that you can possibly imagine in the entire world that you would hear talked about on Coast to Coast AM. I need to turn on my vented seats for a second. It's so hot in here. Everything that you could possibly imagine to be talked about was talked about from a paranormal experience, from a, you know, like, Coast to Coast AM kind of experience of this and that, and I mean, just everything, right? Like, I don't really know how spirits and UFOs and skinwalkers all fit kind of into the same category, but they make them fit. So anyway, it's about this family, and in the matter of 1 year, I think it's 1996 to 1997, they experienced all this stuff: cattle mutilations, open dimensions, UFOs, bouncing lights, orbs, on and on and on, right? So then this company, this organization called the National Institute for Discovery Science, they come in and they like put a trailer like on the property, and they live there and they investigate it for like the next 5 years. And basically, they don't find anything. They find some very sketch evidence that's like 2 to 3 incidences that happen. And the guy that's the writer, he's like, it's just so unbelievable, I can hardly believe that it even happened, and blah, 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 whatever. But he even says, it's like, it's not any kind of evidence that we can go on to like say that yes, there's paranormal or UFO activity or anything happening on this property, right? And so he's like, you know, it's not substantiated evidence. Well, here's the deal. I don't think anything happened at that Skinwalker Ranch. Now, I know that people have said since then that all kinds of weird stuff has happened there. They said that there possibly is like a government bunker underneath there where they're doing investigations, and then there's possibly, he came up with every possible solution in the world. And it's like, okay, so these people that are real nice, they said all this stuff happened. But then the guy, the Tom guy who was the dad, said, if you guys move on this property, they're going to be scared of you, and they're not going to want to come out, and then you're not going to get any evidence, which is exactly what happens, which I think is real suspect, okay? So anyway, here's the deal with the book. The book, which I started off and I was like, oh my God, I talked about it in my vlog. I feel so bad that I did, because I'm sure a couple people out there bought it. I hope they had a better experience with it than I did. But I was like, it's so scary. And it was. The beginning of it was so scary because it was talking about the family on this ranch and how they moved on there, right? And all the things that they would see. And, you know, the wife would, like, a spoon would go from the kitchen, or would go from the kitchen sink to the microwave, and she didn't know how it got there, and stuff was moved around, and poltergeist activity, and she spotted UFOs, and all this kind of stuff. It was just all this craziness, right? So anyway, then the next part, that's like, I would say 20% of the book. I talked about this last night in my vlog. Okay, then the next part is the National Institute of Discovery Science coming in, and they put their trailer down, and blah, 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 whatever, right? Okay. That's cool. I'm here for it. And that, I would say, is about 10% of the book, right? The other 70% of the book is literally this guy. I mean, it was, I swear to God, it was literally, and I'm not just using that word because I use it a lot, it was literally like a PhD paper, like dissertation. It was just sightings and sightings of, you know, and I don't mean sightings like UFO sightings. It was like sightings from other people's studies, and so-and-so said this, and so-and-so said that, and so-and-so this, and this happened in such and such. It had nothing to do with the ranch. And then the last, I would say, 10% of it is the epilogue, which is all just, these are the different things it could have been. These are the different things that the ranch could have been. And I was so thrown out by it. I was like, okay, and so I was like 2 hours from the end of it, and I almost DNF'd it, but I was like, listen, I have invested 6 hours into this book. I am going to finish this book, even though it is so boring. I was talking back to the book, because I listened to it on Audible, obviously. But anyway, I was talking back to the book, and I was calling them all kinds of idiots and stuff. Do you ever do that? I was like, you are such an idiot. I was like screaming at the guy that was the author, and he was like, yeah, and even when I was investigating this, and I was like, oh my God, that would make a good movie, but that is not true, you're such a liar. I was like literally screaming at the author, the guy that was reading it. He's talking about how, like, the people that started following UFOs would have sightings, and I want to believe so bad. That's why I read this stuff, right? It's why I go to psychic mediums, and I read all these books about UFOs. I want to read so bad, so if y'all have a good book about UFOs, let me read. The best book I've ever read about UFOs was fiction, and it was by Dean Koontz, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was about this town that was taken over by UFOs. So, I don't remember what it was called, though. But anyway, I don't know why he's staring at me. I'm just making a YouTube video. Just look the other way. But anyway, I said just look the other way. I don't like that. Anyway. He's like, what are you talking about? So, anyway. Oh, my God. Now I got to be stopped at another red light with him. Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul. But anyway, I'm not even going to pull up there this time. So, there's an Amazon truck, an Amazon Prime truck. I swear to God, Amazon's taking over the world, aren't they? Since we can't, any of us go into no stores or anything like that. No stores, any stores. This was the worst book that I have read in 2020, and maybe the worst book that I have read in the last 2 years. I think it's the worst book that I've read in the last 2 years. It was so bad. I could not believe how bad it was. I was so thrown out. And then, like, I hate reading reviews on, like, Amazon, Audible, and Goodreads is pretty fair, but, like, you know, if you read you can tell, like, someone will be like, oh, this book was so boring and so slow, and then you're really excited. Does this ever happen to you? Like, you're really excited about reading a book, and then, like, somebody, like, in a review will say, oh, it's so boring, you'll see, like, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 1, and then the 1 will be, like, the one that you key into, and it's like, this book was so boring and so slow, and blah, 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 whatever, and I'm like, So, but last night I started, I don't know who wrote it, but it's called The Girl Beneath the Sea, and it's really good, and I think it's going to be like a detective series, and I can totally get behind it, because it's about this girl, and this woman, and her dad is a treasure hunter, and she works for the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, which I love Fort Lauderdale and Miami anyway, y'all know we want to move there. So, she is, like, works for the department, and she gets, like, involved in this murder case, and people are trying to chase her. It's so good. And then the book I'm going to read after that, I already downloaded on Audible, is I'm going to read the next Suzanne Collins book, because I'm hearing great things about it. Songbirds and Chaplain Hill or something. I don't know what it's, Chapel Hill, I don't know what it's called. But it's supposed to be so good. And then the next book after that I'm going to read is The Night Stalker, because that's our June book for the book club. So if you haven't joined our book club yet, it's listed below. It's the Facebook group, a true crime book club, period. good. It's so fun. We have over 800 members and we're having such a great time. So anyway, yeah, don't read The Hunt for the Skinwalker unless you really want to be bored. And if you really want to be bored, then read it. But it was so bad. I was so bored of it. Anyway, okay, that's my little blog for the vlog today. If you like this and you want to hear more of these, put it in the comment section below and I'll do little daily vlogs at least every day or every other day so I can get more stuff up on this channel, because I know people are like, I wish you would post more over here. So instead of having to come up with some serious topic, I can vlog and just talk about whatever books I'm reading for the moment. And that would be kind of fun, don't you think? If you don't think so and you're rude and you're mean, then then I love you anyway. Put it in the comment section below. I love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.